Planning lessons, implementation, assessment. Aims of LAC lesson planning. Support language development. This aim ensures that language skill, listening, speaking, reading, writing are actively developed through various learning activities, helping learners improve their overall language proficiency. Enhance knowledge acquisition. By being mindful of how language is used, teachers can better support students in understanding and retaining new information, making content more accessible and comprehensive. Create a link. This involves connecting different parts of the learning process so that language skills are applied and reinforced across different subjects and activities, creating a cohesive learning experience. Enhance awareness of relatedness. This aim helps learners recognize how various aspects of language and content are interconnected, promoting a deeper understanding of both the subject matter and language itself. In essence, LAC lesson planning integrates language development into all areas of learning to support comprehensive educational growth. Aims of LAC lesson planning to develop critical reading, writing and learning. Critical reading. Encourage students to analyze text deeply, evaluate arguments and understand different perspectives. This skill helps in developing high order thinking and comprehension abilities. Critical writing. Foster the ability to articulate thoughts clearly and persuasively. This includes developing well-structured arguments, using evidence effectively and refining grammar and style. Critical language. Promote active engagement with the material. This involves applying concepts in various contexts, questioning assumptions and making connections between the different ideas and subjects. To give learners feedback about their progress. Providing feedback helps learners understand their strengths and areas for improvement. Constructive feedback should be specific, actionable, and timely to guide students in making necessary adjustments to their learning strategies and understanding. This ongoing feedback loop supports continuous improvement and helps learners set and achieve personal and academic goals. Main focus of LAC. The conventional four skills of language: reading, writing, listening and speaking. All non-verbal means of representation and expression that we use when communicating. Non-verbal means of representation and expression includes body language, facial expression, gestures and other forms of non-verbal communication that complement and enhance verbal interaction. The focus is on the area because they enhance knowledge acquisition, gaining and understanding new information through both verbal and non-verbal means. Interrogation of knowledge. Analyzing and questioning information critically to deepen understanding. Expression and presentation of knowledge. Communicating information effectively through writing or speaking, utilizing both verbal and non-verbal tools. Critical thinking, reading and writing. Developing the ability to think analytically and critically and applying these skills in reading and writing context. Main focuses of LAC: interpreting pictures, cartoon analysis. This involves analyzing visual elements such as cartoon to understand underlying messages, theme and techniques used by the creator. It requires interpreting symbolism, humor and cultural references to grasp the cartoon's full meaning. Evaluating and applying. This focus is on using problem solving and critical thinking skills to assess information and apply it effectively. It involves analyzing situations, making informed decisions, and solving problems based on gathering data and logical reasoning. Writing for specific audience and purpose. This involves tailoring written content to meet the needs of different audiences and purposes. It requires understanding the audience's expectations and adjusting the style, tone, and content accordingly to communicate effectively. Each of these focus help develop essential skills in communication, analysis, and problem solving. Learning skills shared by all subjects in the curriculum. Locating information. Finding relevant sources or data needed for understanding a topic or completing a task. Gathering facts. Collecting accurate and pertinent details from various sources to build a comprehensive understanding of a subject. Organizing information. Structuring collected information in a logical and coherent manner to facilitate understanding and communication. Acquiring information using strategies through reading and setting purpose for listening. Communicating orally. Speaking with accuracy and pause, and in writing with clarity and exactness using writing processes. Writing with clarity and exactness. Expressing ideas clearly and precisely following the writing process to revise and improve text. Language across the curriculum. Integrate these language skills into all subjects, ensuring that students develop strong communication abilities and critical thinking in every area of learning. Steps in planning for language across curriculum. Establish learners' prior knowledge and language ability. Assess what learners already know about the content or theme. This can be done through informal assessment, discussion, or pre-test. Evaluate their current language proficiency to tailor activities to their skill level. Identify new terminology and concepts. Determine the new vocabulary and concepts that learners will need to understand the content. Create a list of these terms and plan how to introduce and reinforce them. Structure and plan meaningful tasks. Design tasks that are relevant and engaging, allowing learners to use new terminology and concepts in context. Plan activities that support the development of listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills, integrating these into the classroom environment effectively. Create experiences for skill acquisition. Develop classroom experiences and activities that foster practice in all language skills. Ensure tasks are varied and interactive to cater to different learning styles and promote comprehensive language development. Steps in planning for LAC. Create opportunities for learners to learn how to think critically about what they hear and use oral language to gather, process, and present information and communication in a wide variety of social contexts. Establish strategies to manage all forms of communication to ensure all learning have fair and equitable opportunities to develop the interpersonal speaking and listening skills. Example, large and small group discussion. Planning for LAC involves integrating language development with content learning. Some steps: identify learning objectives, design learning activities. For example, incorporate tasks that require students to present information, participate in discussion, or debate topics related to the subject matter. Next, incorporate diverse communication forms. Large and small group discussion. Allow students to engage in both types of discussion to practice in their speaking and listening skills in different contexts. presentation and reports. Encourage students to present their findings or opinions on topics which help in developing public speaking skills. Peer review and collaboration. Facilitate opportunities for students to give and receive feedback which fosters critical thinking and effective communication. Implement scaffolding techniques. Provide support structures such as sentence starters, vocabulary list, and modeling to help students build their language skills progressively. Assess and reflect. Regular assess both content knowledge and language development. Provide feedback and support. Create an inclusive environment. Steps in planning for LAC. Model approaches, processes, strategies, and activities of the different language skills to enable learners to develop. Focus on listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Determine which skill are most relevant for each subject area. Develop integrated activities. For example, writing assignment in science or discussion in social studies. Use varied strategies. Implement diverse strategies such as group work, peer review, and interactive discussion to address different language skills. Establish effective resources. Select resources. Choose textbook, digital tools, and supplementary materials that support language development across subjects. Incorporate technology. Utilize educational software, online dictionaries, and language learning app to provide additional support. Create a resource bank. Develop a collection of resources tailored to different language levels and learning. Develop assessment strategies. Define assessment goals. Use diverse methods. Provide feedback. Establish routines of observation and recording. Create observation checklist. Schedule regular observation. Document progress. By following these steps, you can effectively integrate language skills across the curriculum, support learners' language development, and enhance their overall educational expertise. LAC approach. A two-fold approach is suggested for the successful implementation of LAC. They are comprehensive linguistic input. This involves providing students with rich and varied language exposure. It means incorporating diverse linguistic resources, strategies, and tools in all subjects. For instance, teachers might use specialized vocabulary, encourage reading of subject-specific text, or integrate language skills like writing and speaking into lessons across different disciplines. Two possibilities to implement this linguistic input in other field of the curriculum. This suggests finding way to apply the language skills and strategies beyond language arts class. For example, in a science class, students might be encouraged to write detailed lab report, discuss their finding verbally, or read scientific articles. In history, they might analyze historical text, debate historical events, or write essays. The goal is to ensure that language learning is not isolated but integrated into all areas of learning, helping students develop language proficiency while gaining knowledge in various subjects. Assessing learning through language skills. The focus on assessment will be on a learner's progress in understanding skills, concepts, and terminology in an area of study. Listening. Assess understanding of concepts. Active listening task. Implement activities where listeners must follow spoken instruction or respond to verbal questions. Speaking. Oral presentations. Have learners explain concept or discuss topics orally, evaluating their clarity, use of terminology, and comprehension. Interactive dialogue. Reading. Text comprehension. Provide text related to the study area and ask learners to answer comprehension questions or summarize information. Critical reading. Assess how will learners analyze and interpret text, including their ability to identify key concepts and terms. Writing. Written assignments. Evaluate essays, reports, or other written work on their ability to explain concept, use terminology accurately, and organize information logically. Language use. Look at grammar, vocabulary, and overall writing quality to assess learners' ability to express their understanding in written form. Use different assessment strategies, methods, and tools to cater for language needs. Assess learners' degree of knowledge and understanding by what they say, read, or write. Establish routines for observing and recording. Observation and recording. Develop a system of regular observation and recording, routine feedback, assessment tools and strategies, rubrics. Use rubrics to consistently evaluate learners' performance in each language skill area. Portfolio. Maintain portfolio of learners' work to track progress over time and provide a comprehensive view of their language development. Peer and self-assessment. Encourage learners to assess their own and each other's work, which can foster self-awareness and reflective learning.